Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com. Today, another real estate video, and this is focused on these strategies that are implemented and executed and preached by these big real estate influencers like Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, Graham Stephan, and so on and so on. And by the way, I respect all of these people. They have great points, but the thing that they have most likely in common, they have this American mindset of doing business, especially with real estate, that focus a lot on credit and cash flow. And in Venezuela, if you come here with this mindset, you're gonna lose quite some money. So today I'm gonna explain why these strategies don't work in Venezuela and which strategies can be asserted, can be successful on the next 10 years or so. So let's start. So first, let's start by this idea of Kiyosaki, also Grant Cardone has said it a couple of times, that actually a house is a liability. And I agree to a certain degree. A house is an asset here in Venezuela. Because unlike these places where you have I'm talking the United States, when you have high property taxes and the maintenance is a pain in the ass, I have to say. Here in Venezuela, well, the maintenance is also a pain, surely. But the thing is, you are owning something first. If you have a home, not an apartment, but if you're owning, the house with the land, also you are owning land as well. Especially is very good. It has a good location, and of course, real estate. One of the mantras is location, location, location. I already did a video covering that aspect. So on this case, depending on the location, depending on the property, of course, you don't want to buy this huge house just for one single family. So that's one of the aspects that I want to discuss between this real estate influencers and how things are actually done here in Venezuela. Number two is multi-family units. Yet again, it's said by these influencers that you want multi-family unit because they generate cash flow, because each, let's say, household on the same property has, recurring cash flow. You can rent it and such. And of course, if you have many units on the same property, you are basically sharing the expenses, and the expense for each unit is lower than buying individual property. I agree on essence, but here's why in Venezuela doesn't work. Because according to some statistics, some data, I would say the consensus on not only on the developed world, but even on the emerging markets, is that the next generation is not going to be homeowners, they're going to be home renters. And I kind of agree on that remark. So the people who are going to be living on these multi-family units is people, they are hard working class, and they cannot afford to buy their own home, but yet they have decent income enough to pay a rent. Very good. The thing is, in Venezuela doesn't work, and here's why. Because in Venezuela, in order to rent a property, the people who rent a property are not these hard, let's say, middle to lower middle class people, and even high middle class people. They are not renting the properties. They either live with their families if they are not rich enough in order to buy their own home, or they already own their own home, regardless of the situation. I'm not talking they are rich or anything. So they already took care of the housing cost of their budget, and the rest of the budget is the main issue, not their housing. So when you see this, is right now, maybe in the future, the things might shift. However, it's not the case at the moment. So that's why I don't recommend multi-family units in Venezuela. Number three is leveraging. The leverage, usually the most successful real estate investors, Grant Cardone and Kiyosaki. Actually, Kiyosaki has written a bunch of books regarding that and assets and liabilities. And believe me, I read most of Kiyosaki books, and I watched a couple of Grant Cardone these seminars that he gave. Great speech. He's a great speaker. And also, I watch occasionally Graham Stephan talking something on that line. So using leverage in order to, but being responsible with this leverage. I believe Grant Cardone is not responsible with that, but still makes a lot of money. Is way richer than me, so I'm not rich. Well, the thing is that here in Venezuela is virtually no access to credit. So on that hand, don't come here expecting that you're going to leverage credit in order to make real estate deals. So basically, if you start on this business, talking let's say United States, where it's probably the easiest place to get credit for real estate properties, you buy a property, you can, of course, you buy it with credit, with a mortgage, you rent such property, and with the cash flow of the rent, you pay the monthly payment on such mortgage, and you are creating equity. And well, I'm not gonna do the thing. You have when you buy a house, let's say $100,000, that's an asset. Let's say you gave 20% down payment that goes with the equity, and when you are doing the payments, you are increasing your equity and you are reducing your leverage, your liability. Very good, basic accounting 101. Okay, here in Venezuela, you're not gonna be able to do so because there's virtually no access to credit, especially if you are from abroad. And number four is doing the flipping. Actually, I love doing flipping. I haven't done it in a while, but I love doing flipping. Actually, it's been kind of good doing that, but it's not the same here in Venezuela like in the rest of the world. Just on a very particular case. What you see, and actually there are some reality channel shows on this subject, when just a couple guys, let's say a married couple or some buddies that are business partners, go and hunt very cheap properties. They buy it cash. They do this extreme renovation on any given property. They spend a lot on the renovation and they resell it for a small profit, let's say 5 to 10%, maybe 20%, in some extreme cases 30%. Very good. In Venezuela, that's a quick way to lose your money. Here's why. The properties are not as expensive as the United States. You have to pay cash, remember, here, and of course, in the particular cases, cash as well. And also, here in Venezuela, doing renovations is either more expensive regarding the cost of the materials or at least the very high quality materials. Still can be done, not saying that you can do a decent renovation. So doing renovations here, you're most likely are going to lose money if you can, of course, paint your property, maybe renovate a little, fix a couple things on the kitchen, stuff like that. Because you do have to do a couple things usually. But in most cases, what you want to do is just buy a cheap property and sell it just on a small profit if you are actually doing some flipping. So, sorry, flipping. And the thing is, if you came with this mindset that you're going to do these big renovations, you're going to lose your money. Now, what you want to do in Venezuela is that first, of course, you have to study the market, visit a bunch of properties, know the strengths and weaknesses on any given market, because here in Venezuela we have a bunch of regional markets, so you have to understand each market of the markets that you want to be specialized. And after that, looking the best deal. You don't want to buy a sorry for the lack of a better word, a shitty property, but you don't want to buy this luxurious high-end property. You want to buy something, let's say, high middle class. Let's say something like that. High middle class on a good price, on a good location, and you maybe can disregard a little bit, the fancy stuff, the fancy countertops. If you can get one with fancy countertops on a great price, great deal. And after that, you can either cash flow that property on a very specific renter with a very specific client, and you can cash flow the properties. Actually, here the yields, depending on the property, are quite good. In some cases, can be 20%, but there is caveats with those 20% yields yearly. So you have to be careful. You want to be in the neighborhood with maybe 7 to 10%, something like that. You can be easily done here in Venezuela, and also buy a liquid property. There are just some stratas on some tranches on the Venezuelan market, especially on any given individual regional market. When you can find liquid properties, I define a liquid property, a property that is not too expensive or but it's not that cheap, that you can easily liquidate on the Venezuelan standard of the real estate market. So you can either pivot, so you always have the opportunity to pivot to either cash flow for the long term or just flip for the short term. Very good on that regard. And also, if you are bullish on the Venezuelan economy long term, I'm talking next 10 years or so, and you are expecting an appreciation, and we have seen a lot of that since 2019 and also 2021. The COVID just hindered the thing a little bit. So we've seen an appreciation, a lot of appreciation on the market. So you have these three strategies: flip, cash flow, or long-term appreciation. And that's kind of the basic guide that I can give you for real estate investment in Venezuela. Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.